welcome back to the Pac-Man special, guys. Looks like we're going to go ahead and dive into this One Piece. I've been recording at my locals and I've really been enjoying it here. So One Piece is a new card game. I mean, as you guys know, it came out earlier this year with the super pre-release, and now we have the full set in Romance Dawn. So today we're gonna have Luffy versus Zoro. And this game match here is actually really cool. We got the Luffy player going second, Zoro went first. Looks like Luffy plays Thousand Sunny, and the Zoro player played a Chopper. Now, some of these players are fairly new, but I do have a ton of gameplay coming for you guys as well. And I'm working with one of my teammates for DBS, so since we're in the off season, we're gonna get some stuff there too. So be on the lookout for all the content. We're gonna get this train rocking and rolling. So on turn 2, the Zoro player goes ahead and plays this Vivi and swings 5 with the leader. Cool thing with Zoro is when you slide a Don underneath him, all your characters get plus 1k on your turn. So you can literally make all your cards attackers by placing one Don under them. So with the Luffy player, he's gonna go ahead and go into his turn. I believe he had came to our locals and grabbed 2 Luffy decks and slapped them together. So now that it's his turn, he's going to go ahead and try to capitalize on doing some things. Now, one of the things that I've seen both of these players do so far is give their opponents a lot of information before actually attacking. And one of the things I don't really like to do is play these cards before attacking, because, you know, there's triggers in this game where, you know, if you take damage on your life and that card has a trigger, you can activate that trigger. And in red, they have one of the best ones, and that is Jet Pistol. And I believe it's Gum Gum as well. I'm not 100% sure the name of the card. Still trying to get used to all these names. So he goes ahead and swings 5 at the leader, or 6 by putting Arrested Don, and there's a trigger and it KOs the Jinbei. He could have KO'd the blocker, but he chose to KO the Jinbei instead. So goes into the Zoro's player's turn here, and we have a lot of decisions to make. We can slide a Don underneath Zoro and make this Vivi an attacker, because the Vivi is already a 4k. So if you put one Don underneath it, it's gonna make it a 5k. Underneath Zoro is gonna make the Vivi a 5k. So now we're swinging neutral to the Luffy player, and the Luffy player decides to take it, and then 6, and then he blocks. All right, he plays the Brook here for 4, I believe, and just to establish more of a board. But once again, you want to be careful playing these cards early. So there's a lot of missed sequence here. But, you know, we're still learning. A lot of new players here at our locals getting into the game and just picking it up. So we're going into the Luffy's turn. It looks like he drew the big Luffy that has Rush, and Rush is the mechanic that allows you to attack on turn when you play the card, because this game does have summoning sickness. So you can't play and attack unless the card has Rush. Man, he has a lot of event cards in his hand. It looks like he has 3 guard points. My God. So he goes ahead and taps and plays the big Luffy here, and he's just gonna go ahead and swing with it and apply Don and just see if he can get pressure. So that is a 8k going into face, and then he Thousand Sunny, giving his leader 1000 power, which makes that a 6k in the face. Now, the Zoro player does have blockers. He didn't have to take damage. So unless he doesn't have cards in his hand that he wants to see, I don't understand why he took the early game damage, because if he doesn't be able to pressure him here and he clears that board, oh my God, he's going to be in a world of hurt. So moving right along, we do have, let's see here, the Zoro player going ahead and setting up his board, trying out his turn. And we're just trying to figure out what's the next step here. He goes ahead and draws and gets his Don. And he's going to go ahead and I should attach a Don here to his leader to go ahead and give Vivi and the Brook some attack power. So he's looking at his hand, and he's going to see what he's going to do here. Now, Zoro and Luffy are considered the 2 most red decks. He plays a Brook, but Zoro and Luffy are considered the 2 most aggro decks in the format here. So by him placing the Brook, he can give those 2 rested Don to another card. So he gives the Don to the other Brook and swings with it, and the Luffy player takes it. He has, what, 5 Don there. He attaches one to Zoro, and then he's going to go ahead and probably either swing with the Zoro or the Vivi here. He swings with the Vivi first at the Luffy for 5, and that Luffy is dead. Actually, that Luffy shouldn't have died there. He didn't attach a Don, and that Luffy was at 6. So unless that Brook did something, and I'm not quite sure if that Brook had an ability to neg something on swing. But yeah, he goes and clears the big Luffy, plays another blocker, and he's dealt a lot of damage. Now this Luffy player is down to 1 life, really 2, and that's pretty much striking distance there. So with that being said, it's gonna go on here to the Luffy's turn. Luffy's got a lot of work to do. He needs to take care of this board, but it doesn't look like he drew into a lot of cards. He has a Diablo Jambe, he has a Sanji, a Brook, a Frankie, and I think that was a Nami back there as well. So he's got to try to go ahead and get rid of some of this board, because by allowing Zoro to have a board like this, it's just creating more and more havoc for you on the following turn. So he goes and taps 2 and plays the Sanji. He might use the Luffy ability to go ahead and give it a Dawn to put underneath it. He taps 2 more and plays Brook, giving the 2 rested Dawn to Sanji to give him Rush for the turn. So now he's got to push through here and try to get rid of this board, but I'm not sure what he's gonna do. He plays the Tony Chopper, and once again, there's the mis-sequencing, playing your blockers beforehand, because if he decides to swing face and it goes wrong, he can get jet pistoled here, and that card's gonna die. So we're going ahead and tapping 1, playing the Nami, just giving all the information to your opponent. Nami is gonna allow you to use a rested Dawn and attach it to something, so he's gonna attach that rested Dawn to the Sanji, and I would have kept the Brook in hand if I was gonna play the Nami and then use my leader effect and the Nami effect, and that way I'll only use 1 Dawn at that point. So he takes the damage. There's the trigger, and that trigger is gonna go ahead and kill, I believe, the blocker here. That's what I would do. I would KO the blocker, so that way you have nothing to defend yourself with on the next turn. So it looks like that's probably what's going to happen here. I believe he's thinking about what to KO, and he was going for the Sanji, but KO and Tony Chopper is the right call here. So he goes ahead and KOs that, setting himself up to kill him on the next turn. And the Luffy player does have a few Dawn up, and he just has to decide on what to do here. 1000 Sunny given to the leader, and then he swings, and I believe he's swinging face, but the Luffy player, the Zoro player, just combos out of it, and then he passes. So now it's on to the Zoro player. The Zoro has a board here, so Zoro literally can kill him possibly here with, all this board presence that he has. He starts by putting a Dawn underneath the leader, giving all his characters a 5k boost, and now this Tony Choppers can swing too. They're 2ks, so by attaching 3 Dawn to them, he can make them bigger. But he's gonna go ahead and attach Dawn to this Brook and these Vivi. He swings 6 to leader, and he has to take it. There's no trigger off of that. He grabs the Sanji off of life, and that Sanji doesn't have any counter power, so he's gonna go ahead and attach Dawn to Brook. This opponent doesn't have anything there. He's just loading up on the Brook, and I would have just put everything on Vivi and just swing. Or put it all on Brook and swing and see if he has the combo power to get out of it. But he's just spreading it out, trying to, get value, I guess, cards out of his hand 1 by 1. So he swings with the Brook. The Luffy player goes ahead and use guard point, survives the attack, and then he's going to go ahead and swing with Vivi, and he's going to guard point again, survive the attack. And then he has this other Brook swing, just loads up the rest of his Dawn on the Brook and turns it sideways. And it looks like, I believe that's gonna be game here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has enough combo power. There's the fist bump, and there's game. So that's one of our first locals battles here. Zoro does go ahead and outdoes Luffy. If you guys like this type of content, please let me know. Feel free to drop it down in the comments. I'll try to get even certain matchups if you guys want me to. I do know we have a bunch of videos about to come out, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Get on this ride with me with the One Piece. You know, maybe we can find it together. And if anybody's got a problem with you, tell them to kiss your ass, because that's what I do. We out of here. Peace, love, happiness. Gone.